And I thought it'd be interesting to see if you'd be willing to get back into the fight again, given what's gone on the last couple of years. Let's get your take on that.
Well, no doubt that I've done better financially in the media world than I did as a pastor or governor. In fact, I did better as a pastor than a governor. I took a pay cut from being a pastor to become governor. One of the things that was a very tough thing was that in order to go into politics, it meant going through my annuities, cashing out life insurance. I was not a wealthy man when I started, and I was pretty well obliterated by the time I had finished. So I've spent the last couple of years trying to get back on my feet, replenish my life insurance account that I had borrowed from, trying to get my annuity back that I had cashed out. It's not going to be the key factor, however. I mean, my wife and I started out with absolutely nothing. So we've been there, and, we've been able to enjoy a lot more in the last couple of years. It's enabled us to give more. We've been able to do things we were never able to do before. We gave to a lot of candidates, not only through the PAC, but personally. So those things are nice, but it's not going to be the criteria. One of the things that I've got to look through is there support for a campaign? And frankly, one thing that I would love to see change, in fact, I think I may issue a public challenge that anyone who runs for president who is a current member of the House or Senate would resign that post in order to run, because it's not fair that they get the taxpayer-funded salary and staff and all the amenities with that, including their pension benefit, and never show up for work. A second thing I'd love to see is that it would be illegal for federal candidates to transfer large bank accounts that they have amassed as a Senate or House candidate into a presidential race. I think it's a blatant end around the rules of not only fairness, but the rules of what ought to be legal.
Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee with us on our WHO Radio Newsmaker line, 2008 Iowa caucus winner. So, Mike, let me just ask up front, are you going to run for president again in 2012? I'm
not ruling it out. And that's not a yes, but it's definitely not a no. It was interesting to me, the Des Moines Register several months ago made a glaring error in saying that I made some comment that I wasn't going to run. I never said that. Chris Wallace on an interview asked me, was I going to? I said, Chris, I don't know. He said, if you had to make the decision right now. I said, right now I might be leaning against it. This was over a year ago. And what I was saying to him was, this is no time for me to make that decision. We were a year away from the 2010 elections. Well, he took that, well, maybe not even he, but the Des Moines Register took it as Huckabee says he's not running. I never said that. And so the honest answer is, I'm keeping it open as an option. I'm looking at whether or not there's a pathway to victory. As I have told several people, I'm not jumping into a pool when there's no water in it. And one of the things that made it very difficult last time was I was constantly faced with a lot of negative money from opponents, some of which came through their campaigns, some which came through secondary organizations like the Club for Growth, and they would attack me and attack my record, and I had no financial wherewithal to respond and put the facts out. And quite frankly, if it weren't for people like you that actually decided they didn't just believe everything that they read on the Internet, but went in and did an analysis of actual records, it would have been very difficult for me to have won the Iowa caucuses and to have gone on to become second in the Republican nominee process. By the way, coming in second, which still is often overlooked, and I hear even on the network with which I'm currently associated, that I was not even second. They'll say, and the runner-up was Mitt Romney, which he was not. I had the second number of delegates. Those are things that you want to be able to overcome. You just want to deal with truth and fact. And, of course, when I'm there this weekend, it's going to be a great weekend. It's going to be a great opportunity for us to be reminded that, yes, the economic issues are important. We are concerned about jobs, about economic recovery, about getting control of a government that spent money that it doesn't have and borrowed money it can't pay back, but that poverty is still largely the result of the breakdown of the traditional family. When kids grow up without a mother and a father, and you have mothers and fathers who don't work, and mothers and fathers who live off government assistance, and who don't finish their education, you're going to have increased poverty. The poverty rate is higher today than it has been since we started keeping stats about the poverty rate. So with all the talk about how much the government can do to deal with poverty and to spend more money at the government level to address it, truth is we're never going to deal with poverty until we deal with strong mothers and fathers raising kids.
Mike Huckabee with us on our WHO Radio Newsmaker line here on Dace in the afternoon.